Hello, this is RICKY, the Android guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Android Weekly / Android Q&A, where we go over all the latest mobile news that happened during the week and then answer your questions live. If you want to ask a question and can't watch live, just email me at asktheandroidguy@gmail.com and hopefully you'll get your question answered next week. However, if you do watch live, you can begin asking your questions in the comment section down below. We will always get to all questions that are asked in the comment section live every week, Sunday at 8 p.m. So, before ado, let's get started with the first news topic of the week. Tag Heuer, or Heuer, I believe. Actually, I'm not really sure how to pronounce that one. But basically, they have launched their $1,500 watch that you can trade in a year for a regular Tag watch. I'm not really sure why I would ever want to do this. Now, the idea is that you're spending over $3,000. However, the watch that you would trade in for is a $5,000 watch. But it's in performance, screen quality, everything, it's pretty much the same as it is. Yes, it has an AMOLED. Yes, it has Wi-Fi. Yes, it has, basically everything that most other Android smartwatches does, but it has a Tag Heuer name on it, and they think that should be enough. So what do you guys think? Do you think that's enough? I think they can, go and, themselves. Basically, I think it's just not worth it. I wouldn't recommend this to anyone, no matter how much style they want it to have. I just don't think it's worth it. I would get instead a band like this for any smartwatch that takes a standard band and use their band. And then you have the best of both worlds, a lower price with the better band. Oculus Arcade has launched, guys, for the Gear VR. For those of you who don't know, the consumer version of the Gear VR is coming at the end of this month. The carriers that will carry it is T-Mobile and AT&T, along with stores like Best Buy. Now, Oculus Arcade is pretty cool. I got to test it out at the Oculus event in, I think it was September. And essentially, you go in this room and you have a bunch of arcade machines. Then you get to move around your head and kind of choose which one you want to go to. And when you tap on it, then you get to play that arcade game. My favorite one by far was I got to play Streets of Rage 2 in the Oculus Rift. That was pretty cool. I have to admit that really brought back a lot of nostalgia. It was really cool. They had other games like Sonic the Hedgehog, Pac-Man, I believe Contra, or I'm not sure which one. But yeah, so a lot of fun games. And they're all coming from either Sega or Midway. These are the only two providers at this point, but who knows what will come later on down the line. And they are each game does cost on its own, so the app itself is free, but you do have to pay per game. So it's either 99 cents or $2.99 per game. Again, this is the full game, so if you play something like Streets of Rage, you actually will get to the boss. Like you actually get to play with all of them, so that's really great. Yes, so the launch date is November 20th, so that is when everything will go down. So make sure to stay tuned for that. I will try to see how the new Oculus Rift does with screen mirroring and see if we can get some Oculus Rift games back in, or sorry, not Gear VR games, although I will get an Oculus Rift when it comes out. We will do some Gear VR games, so hopefully you can start seeing how it is to look inside Gear VR. I've really enjoyed it, especially since Netflix kicked in. I think it's probably the best way to watch Netflix that you've ever experienced. So really great. $100 coming out in about 5 days. Nintendo finally released a bit more information on their smartphone games. So their smartphone games will all be free to play, but they will have in-app purchases. No real detail on what it is, but we do believe it'll be something like new suits, characters, or things like that that you could have with it. We do know that the Mitomo game is the first one that's going to be coming out. It doesn't really look that impressive, but I cannot wait for the Pokemon game. I think I will get lost in that game, and yeah, I got to catch them all. And I wasn't a Pokemon, that was after my generation, but it's something so cool about how they captured augmented reality and this that I actually want to join in on it. So yeah, Pokemon Go I think is going to be great. As for the Mitomo, I don't think that's going to be successful, but I'm really curious to see how things look, a year or 2 years from now when Nintendo really has a huge app market. They did say by March 2017 that they would have 5 games. None have launched yet, so it's really interesting to see how that will turn out. So Huawei has shown us a hint of the future, and I say hint of the future and not what is going to be happening now because they have charged a smartphone with a 3,000 milliamp battery in 5 minutes. Here's the catch, though: it's not actually on the smartphone itself; it is on a separate machine. So what they are actually doing is literally taking the battery out, and then they are putting it in the box and then charging it. This is a big box. Once they get that technology in there, then I'll be a little bit more impressed. But yeah, so basically that's what they're saying is, they're kind of, oh, look what our research was able to do. Again, once they put that technology in his phone, then we'll be a little bit more impressed because that's a bigger box than like 5 phones. So yeah, I'm really curious to see what this will lead to. But I feel like I've got a lot of questions this week about this, and it wasn't really as impressive as people think because it was a separate box, not the phone itself. And Samsung Pay could support payments between smartphones. This has gotten some big buzz, especially since Samsung Pay is expanding to Europe and China this year, and also, of course, since it's expanding the banks that it works with in the U.S. as well. So really, a lot of expansion going to Samsung Pay, and it really is interesting though to do pay to pay. I mean, this is something that Apple Pay is also working on, and I think it just makes sense for the next evolutionary step for mobile payments to just pay each other, such as things like PayPal and what was it, Venmo or whatever that one is. I know some of my friends use it. It's actually owned by PayPal too, but just an alternative. It's kind of like the hip, cool one instead of what PayPal is, which I find interesting what they call their own payment system then, right? All right, now let's get to the viewer questions that asked during the week. Again, if you have a question you're watching live, ask your question in the comment section down below. If you have a question and you're watching it after, just email me at askandroidguy@gmail.com and make sure your subject is question. All right, Mohammed asks, let's see, is there a Gear S2 is the Gear S2 will the Gear S2 come in a bigger size? Current size is a deal breaker to tie on my hand. Right now, the Gear S2 is a bit smaller than even I would want. Whoa, I can like fit my face in the watch. It's kind of cool. So yeah, the Gear S2 is a bit smaller than I would like as well. I would like a little bit of a bigger watch, but not so huge, in my opinion. I still don't think I want too huge. But yeah, it really is too small for some people, and I understand that. As of right now, everything that I've heard from Samsung is no. There's no plans for a bigger smartwatch face. I heard that that was in the talks before, and then we got one size instead of two. I was not happy with that. When is Samsung Pay going to be available worldwide, for example, in the Middle East? Well, as you heard me say earlier today, the Samsung Pay is expanding to both China and Europe this year. As far as the Middle East, I can only say that when I was invited to what's called Money 2020, which is a financial conference that happens, I was invited to that by my job. Really got to test and see, like, look at all this kind of stuff. And I can tell you that when I talked to my friend that works for Samsung, he kept saying how many banks went to them, and he was saying like from New Zealand to Australia to China banks to Japan banks to Jamaica banks, and all these different banks were like, we want to be a part of Samsung Pay. So the buzz is there. When that will come to different countries and bigger countries like the Middle East, it takes time. For instance, say if a company like Chase, right? So Chase is going to be added to Samsung Pay on November 20th. Say if a company like Chase wants to be a part of Samsung Pay, this is basically the process or the gist of it from what I've gathered. The company says to Samsung, hey, we want to be a part of Samsung Pay. Samsung says, great, we need tokens. Company then goes to Chase. Chase is like, okay, Visa, MasterCard, we need tokens for every credit card we have. So Visa and MasterCard, okay. It'll take time. So I guess with big banks, it takes up to 60 days for them to be added because they have to get created tokens for every card they carry, which obviously for a big bank like Chase or a Bank of America or all these banks that are more internationally known, that's going to take time. So because of that, it takes time for. I mean, you're talking about 60 days, which I'm guessing is why Chase wasn't at launch. Um, so 60 days to get added to it. I'm pretty sure smaller ones like credit unions or smaller banks in general should probably take less time, but for bigger banks, it's going to take a long time for that reason. So yes, tired of waiting for Samsung's promises year after year, aren't you? Swarovski, Mont Blanc. I always pronounce that one wrong. Colored bands for the Gear S. Yeah, I did see the color bands for the Gear S. I did not ever see the Mont Blanc ones and the Swarovski ones. So never saw those. I think the Swarovski ones were canceled honestly because of the lack of female appeal. I never saw a any girl walk around with the Gear S. It seemed to be very male dominated, whereas I feel the Gear S2 will be a lot more the other way. I think it is going to be a lot more popular with women, but I believe some guys will be lost because of the smaller screen size. So yes. Um, thank you for your questions, Mohammed. Um, Ricky, I have a Note 4, and we'll have it for the next year. I keep hearing about updates, maybe even Marshmallow. I'm currently on Android 5.0.1. Do you know if the Lollipop or Marshmallow will be coming? I'm on Verizon. So for that's the question, right? Because you're on Verizon. I can tell you that my international Note 3 already has 5.1. But that's the thing, when the carriers are involved, it does slow down the entire process. But that isn't that ridiculous that I have a year older phone than the one you have, and it is a newer OS. So here's the thing: I do believe that Marshmallow will come to the Note 4 on Verizon, but it's not even on the Note 5 yet. So I am guessing that Marshmallow itself will not be available on the Note 4 till I would say that I won't see Marshmallow on the Note 4. So the Note 5 will probably get a December. If I had to guess, I would say Marshmallow will be on the Note 5 in either December or January at the latest. I will say that the Note 4, I would expect it for Verizon to be on there closer to April. I do believe it's going to be, yes, that long. It could be March, but I do not expect it earlier than March, especially if you see, the S7 move earlier as it's being rumored. And as I have said on this channel, I do believe it's going to be announced at the end of January. Check out for the exact dates a couple weeks back. Last week I said when it will be announced, when it will be released, which is February, and I don't remember the exact dates. And when it will be announced is in January. So I do believe those dates are solid. I think those are solid. So because of that, I do believe that will delay some of the updates. So yeah, I really see it more getting Marshmallow around that time. I could see you getting Android 5.1.1 this year, but I do not see you getting Marshmallow this year. So that's my opinion. Again, I'm not affiliated with Verizon, so I don't have any internal. I'm not affiliated with Samsung, so I do not have any internal sources such as that. All right. So Joseph asks, what smartphone are you really excited for, or would you just buy a phone that is out now? Um, we got the Nexus 6. I wouldn't say I was excited for that phone, but very curious about that phone because of all the hype. Um, does it live up to it? I find stock Android very boring. I gave it to my editor, and he said the same thing because he's never had a stock Android phone. He's never had a stock Android phone. So he was like, "Man, Android just doesn't have as much as my Samsung smartphone does." And it is true. It really is lacking in a lot of certain features. Like, I cannot believe they took away the split screen feature. I was like, "What? Why would you do that?" It was ready for the build, and then they took it off before the final build. Now, yes, I know you can get to it if you have a computer. You can unlock it. No consumer's going to do that. Well, okay, so maybe some people that buy a Nexus would do that, but no regular consumer will do that. But yeah, so that one, the V10, not as impressed as, in my opinion, LG has had a little bit of tradition with just not having the best overall execution. Great technology, great thought process, but just the execution's really what, yeah, I'm just not happy about. So yeah, let's have a moment of silence for Paris. Okay, let's have a moment of silence, guys, for Paris. Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, tragic everything that happened for that. If you guys want to donate, the Red Cross is taking some money to relieve everything that's going on in Paris. It's really horrible. Yeah. Hello there. Hello there. Will when will the Gear S2 Sport have 3G? Today. Today. That was just. I actually just pre-ordered mine. I went to T-Mobile. They did not have it in store, even though it's supposed to be released today. What the fuck, Samsung? But yeah, it is available today. I got mine. I actually. So I had bought mine originally from Best Buy. The Sport one that I always had on my wrist. But when the 3G one came out, I was like, shit, I'm gonna return this one and get that one. I was 45 days in. I was exactly 45 days. So I returned it, got the Gear S2 Sport. It's technically 4G because it's HSPA plus or 3.5G, whatever. But that one is out as of today, so you can go get it. T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon all have the 3G or connected version. So yeah, you can get it today. It starts at $349, I believe, at all the carriers. I think T-Mobile is $10 more at $359. So yeah, but like for T-Mobile, I got it for a total of $20. Um, $5 for the service and $15 for the device a month. But I just paid it all off, so I'm only going to pay $5 for the service every month. What is this talk about a third S7 model? I don't believe it. I mean, I don't. So, for those of you who don't know, there's a lot of talk about the S7, a lot of rumors going around. Some I believe, some I don't. And because I ask, I mean, I'm like you guys, I'm curious about it. So when I hear about something, I tap my Samsung friends. I'm like, hey guys, what's going on? So no, I have heard that testing is already going on, which is kind of interesting. This early, just saying. No, they had the S6 at CES last year. They didn't show it to anyone, but they already had it. Well, not anyone. They showed it to some people, but you had to be the elite to get a view of that, and you had to sign your life away basically if you talked about it. The third, so there's the S6, right? That are like the regular standard S series one, or sorry for the S7. So regular standard S7, then it's gonna be like S7 Edge, and then another one. Now some people say, well, what if they just put like the S6 Edge Plus? What if they put that phone out now? And so like they'll have a small um, an edge that'll be basically the same design, and then a plus. So it'll be a bigger phone. So you have like a 5-inch, 5-inch, and then like a 5.7-inch, like the Edge Plus was. I don't see them doing that, but who knows? I have been wrong about Samsung before, so it could be. That is what's rumored at this time, at least. Will it happen? I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I just don't know. Excuse me, Mr. Android. I am a woman, and I have a Cure S2 since day one. Whoa! I am sorry. Apparently, retraction on that previous statement, because there is a woman that has a Gear S since day one. That is hilarious. Thank you, Crystal, for your great wisdom. I do appreciate that. Yes, as someone noted that they do already have a 3G version of the Gear S2, as I stated earlier. Are we going to get a Note tablet soon? If I had a bet, if there is a Note tablet coming out, which I'm not saying there is, but if there is a Note tablet coming out, I would expect it at MWC. Now, so here's the thing. We possibly will have 3 Samsung announcements from January to when, actually, wait a minute, when is MWC next year? MWC 2016. 22nd through 25th of February. We will have a total of 3 Samsung announcements between January to February. 3 announcements. 3. Here's the thing. CES. This is the first week of January. So CES will happen the first week of January. Samsung always makes an announcement at there. However, last year there was no mobile announcements. Okay, there was a chef's tablet. I'm not counting that. But all announcements were about appliances and the TV. So there was no real mention of mobile once. So that could be no mobile, right? If Samsung wanted to do something in the beginning of January, they could make a Note tablet and do good, right? That's definitely a possibility. They could also have the so that was the Note. So that's the first week of January. The third week of January, when I am telling you that the S7 would be announced, I believe that will be announced then. So that's a second announcement, right? Will they just announce the phone, or could they announce it with a tablet? That is entirely possible. Third announcement, MWC. They always do an announcement at MWC. They have every single year. Last year, they made the S6 announcement at MWC. However, this one has to be mobile related. So that's why I'm betting the tablet would be announced at MWC, because if they already have a phone announcement, what left do they have to announce at MWC? A tablet. So I will say, if we see a new Note tablet, it will be MWC, which is February 22nd through 25th. So February 22nd through 25th is MWC. That is when we will see a Note announcement for a tablet, if it is true. So November 20th, we can walk into a Best Buy and purchase an Oculus VR, a Gear VR. I did make that correction. A Gear VR, not an Oculus Rift. So I just wanted to clarify that, Brent. A Gear VR, you can purchase it, yes. Will they have it in store? I am not sure, but pre-orders are available now for you to get it from Best Buy on November 20th. So they should be in store. Will it be in every store? I don't know about that. I had several stores nearby that had it, but you had to call ahead because only certain stores are getting it. Yeah, so 200 stores are supposed to get it are supposed to get the Gear S2. I went to the third busiest one in Los Angeles, and they didn't have it. What the fuck? What the fuck? That's all I gotta say. So, oh my god, I've had I know, I know. The new Note tablet, hopefully it will come out, but yes. When is the question? What phone do you currently use as a daily device? I'm currently using a standard S6. My current daily driver, and I've not had any phone take me away from this. So I have 2 phones right now. I have my daily driver, which I have yet to let go of as my personal phone, the Galaxy Note 5, which I love. I have yet to have any phone take me away from this. I love the pen. I use it on a daily basis. This phone does not slow down whatsoever. The screen is amazing. The battery life is amazing. The camera quality is amazing. Why would I leave this phone? So yeah, I've not had a phone taken away from this. I played around with other phones. You know, I got the Edge Plus over here. I got the V10 and Nexus 6P over there. I played around with other phones. I got the iPhone 6 Plus over there. You know, I have a lot of phones to play with, but each time I test out a device, I test it out for 2 weeks to a month, depending on the device and how much I like it. And each time I've gone back to the Note 5 as my daily driver. So yeah, that is my daily driver. And yeah, best of 2015 phones are coming out next month. Guess which one might be on top? Just saying. Um, I got my Gear S2 at T-Mobile yesterday in store. They weren't supposed to sell yesterday. What the hell? I want my grr. That's great for you, man. I hope you really like Guillermo. Whoa, just like jumped. I found oh wait. Do you think the S7 will have micro SD, being that Marshmallow will allow you to integrate it on board? So here's the thing. I have a micro SD. Did I put it over here or did I put it over there? Damn it. It's over there. I have the fastest micro SD card in the world, 95 megabits per second. That's the fastest one, right? This phone right here goes 350 megabits per second. It's a little bit of throttle. Again, no one probably owns a 95 megabits per second SD card either. Most people, if you take a look at your micro SD card right now, it's probably 60 megabits per second, 48 megabits per second, 30 megabits per second. Most people do not own a fast memory card. So yeah, I really don't. I really just see it as a mess. I personally have not missed my micro SD card. I have a 64 gig now, but ever since Google Photos has unlimited photo backup and keeps my photo quality the same, I haven't missed it as much. I really haven't. Now, can I understand the people that do that want to add a bunch of storage? Of course, I can understand that. But yeah, I just haven't missed it as much as I thought I would. I've adapted, but I do see Samsung bringing back a micro SD card because of this. So this is very simple. You know how many HTCs and LG sold this year? How many would have sold if Samsung would have kept their micro SD card? Think about that. How many people would have bought a Samsung phone instead of an LG and HTC if they would have kept the micro SD card? That's why I think that Samsung will add it. Do I think that that'll cause issues and crashes again that I have yet to ever had an app crash on me on this phone? Yes, I do think that'll cause more issues on Samsung, which I will probably not add a micro SD card with my phone. Even if it gives me back it, and I have a 128 gig, 95 megabits per second micro SD card, I will probably not put it in there. That's just me. I can completely understand anyone that wouldn't do that. I found Marshmallow device update article. Okay. What are the downsides of wireless charging? There isn't really a downside of wireless charging. The only real downside is that it takes longer to charge. That is the downside of wireless charging. However, you have a fast wireless charger, which defeats that purpose. The benefit of wireless charging, for those of you who don't know, is two main benefits. One, you will never break your power cord connecting your smartphone anymore because you just drop it down and you don't need to plug it in every time. The second one is that you will not overcharge your battery because wireless charging does not overcharge your battery. So you can safely leave it overnight and you will not damage your battery or break your battery in a year's time. Okay. Unfortunately, I can't post a link in the window chat. Yes. I find it just gimmicky because regular fast charging is just crazy. Yes, regular fast charging is crazy, but see, if you leave that overnight, I've already had people that had to do a warranty exchange through Samsung because their battery life sucked because they charged it overnight with fast charging, and you can damage it that quickly. I mean, you're talking about 3 months it's been out, and they've already damaged their battery. I mean, I guess to me, if your charging port is broken, but other than that, that's what happened. Went to a store. Manager is your friend, Chris 2 on the V10. Well, then, I guess I need to get a manager that's a friend because obviously they can't sell it to me on the day it launches. Rude. So yeah, congratulations though, Guillermo. Hi, my Note 4 keeps indicating that I have 3 missed calls, even there is no call to my phone. Thanks. Um, it's always kind of hard to see it when, I mean, to give a solution when I don't have the phone in my hand. So what I would say is this, couple different things. So one, actually hit the phone icon, see your call log, and scroll all the way down just to make sure that it wasn't a one that you just never saw on the screen, and you had so many calls that just got pushed down. That would be one solution. Another solution would be going into apps, then going into app manager, then going into phone, and then going into clear data. What this will do is it'll reset the app. This will not erase any contacts you have. However, it might erase your call logs. But this will reset the phone app so that hopefully that will work. The last thing I can recommend is to just simply you can do one of two things. You can go to any Best Buy. Any Best Buy location has a Samsung kiosk inside of there, which Samsung people are there to help you with your phone. They have classes on it every week too, so you can always get more help if needed. So that's one thing. Second thing is you can download an app called Samsung Plus. It's on the Google Play Store, and it gives you live video chat with a Samsung person that allows them to remote access your phone and then hopefully fix it while they can actually see it and tinker with it. So yeah. All right, a lot of questions today. I'll wait to see if there's any more. What's going on this week? Nexus 6P comparisons are actually, we're getting them together. I did the camera shootout. Camera comparisons take a long time. It's very annoying, but I want to make them very efficient for you guys. So that is what's going on currently right now, and that's what we're currently going through. So those are going on right now. After that, we are working on getting a Galaxy View in the studio against, get this, the Galaxy View against the iPad Pro, the two biggest tablets out on the market, and we're going to compare them against each other and really see how I'm going to film it. First of all, I don't know if I can fit it in my filming space. I really do not know if I can fit those two devices together in my filming space, but I will try, and I'm going to try for you. So yeah, so that's coming up. God, can you imagine those two big devices? It was funny because I did the unboxing for the iPad Pro, and then I'd already looked at the Galaxy View, and my friend was like, "Oh my God, this thing is ridiculous. This thing is big," and I'm like, "No, you haven't seen the View yet. You have not seen the Galaxy View. This thing is nothing. It is nothing compared to the Galaxy View. The iPad Pro is tiny compared to the Galaxy View. The Galaxy View is ridiculous. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, the Galaxy View is one where basically it is how big is it? It is an 18.4-inch tablet. So yeah, it is big. It is very big. Ridiculously big. That's what she said. So yeah, that's everything going on right now that we're working on. I need to cut my hair. Sorry, I just keep looking at it in this and I need to cut my hair. But that's what's going on this week. Got a lot of stuff from the movie guy. I'm going to, if you are a Star Wars fan, I posted a theory that I had last week, and tonight I'm going to be posting the 5 things that I think will happen in the new movie, The Force Awakens. So make sure to check out that on the Mainstream Movie Guy channel that I have. And yeah, that's it. I have not seen any other questions. I haven't seen any other questions so far. Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad. I'm hopefully one of those will work for you. Yeah. So yeah. Anything else? What's going on, guys? I'm just trying to give you guys time to leave more comments that I can answer. But yeah, that's about it. I got this cool new metal band on my Gear S2, so that's pretty cool. The classic. So yeah, really like that. Got it on Amazon, pretty nice. Yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much it. I don't know what other new stuff we have coming in today. Oh, if any of you have, because I just did this for my mom today. If any of you have bought the Galaxy S6, S6 Edge, Edge Plus, or Note 5 from when is it? Let me just see this. I will actually pull this up for you guys. So Samsung is doing something which I think is crazy. They are giving $350 worth of accessories to anyone that buys those 4 devices before Thursday. So let me just show you this for you guys to see. Okay, so if you go to samsungpromotions.com and you bought an S6 to a Note 5 during this time and activated Samsung Pay, you will get basically $400 worth of stuff. So let me explain. You get one of these 2 bundles. You get wireless charging, fast charger, and either a Swarovski case or level on headphones. Those are Bluetooth headphones that Samsung has. And you also get $50 mail-in rebate. This is just by signing up for Samsung Pay and buying a new S6, S6 Edge, Edge Plus, or Note 5 before the, where are the dates? I just saw the dates. Let me go back one. So from the 5th to the 19th. So if you bought it during this time, go to this website right now, activate Samsung Pay, and get $350 worth of free stuff. That's insane. My friend told me about this, and my mom was originally going to upgrade in December, and I was like, no. You're upgrading now. You're getting $400 worth of free stuff. So we upgraded her to the Note 5. She got the gold Note 5, which I'm a little jealous of. And yeah, so go to this, get this. Hopefully it helps one of you guys out that's watching. That's an insane deal. Hopefully you guys like that deal, but that's an insane deal. I'm just like, what? So yeah, if any of you guys wanted to buy one, go to that and buy. If you were hesitating on buying one of these 4 Samsung devices, right now is the time to buy it. You have to buy it before Thursday. Then go to Samsung Promotions, fill out all the information, attach your IMEI and your receipt, and you're good. I am heavily on Android side when it comes to Apple versus Android, and I'm assuming you are as well, judging by your name. What do you believe Apple is doing right, and what do you believe they're doing wrong? That's a great question, Raven. What do I believe that Apple is doing right? Right now, I mean, they've done right what they always do right, which is every year giving their customers one thing to be amazed about. Last year, it was the screen. The year before that, it was the fingerprint. The year to this year, it was the camera. They continuously give their customers one thing that makes themselves different, or not necessarily different, but improved upon. So that each time, if I have an iPhone 5S, man, I want a better camera. I'm gonna have to get the 6S. If I have an iPhone, if I have an iPhone 5, like, man, that screen is big on the iPhone 6. I'm gonna want an iPhone 6. So they continuously give customers, at least one big thing. that they might want, and their commercials bash you over the head of why you want this one thing and how it'll help you in your daily life. So that's one thing I think they're doing right. Um, I also think, Apple continues to have one of the best ecosystems around. You cannot deny that ecosystem for sure. I also think that their Apple TV coming in at $200, I believe, for their 60. Is it what price is their Apple TV? Their new one comes in at a great price for the bigger storage, which I'm trying to see where that is. So yeah, for $199 you get 64 gigs. That is a great price for that device in terms of storage and what you get for it. I think that's really great. So yeah, I think that's really good. And again, right now they haven't put 4K in. Next year's model will have 4K. So again, they keep giving customers one thing after another. Now, is that necessarily a good best practice for a business? Yes. For consumers, no. So yeah, that's what I feel that they're not. What I feel they're doing wrong is I don't think they have a big enough wow factor for Android users still. I do not think they have a big enough wow factor, and I think they haven't yet mastered moving from Android to Apple the way, say, a company like Samsung has mastered moving from Apple to Samsung. Apple to Samsung, they have done a really great job. Samsung has with their Smart Switch app. So it literally everything you had on your iPhone will go to your Samsung. Everything, everything. So that's really big. Um, but with Apple, their iOS or move to iOS app is horrible. It's a piece of garbage. It is low rated app, and it for good reason. You have to basically do it from the beginning, or you have to reset the iPhone and then do it again, kind of thing. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's just a horrible app. So that is one thing I think they're doing wrong. Um, Another thing I think they're doing right is that iMessage is one thing that has kept people on iPhone. It is one thing without a doubt, probably the number one thing I hear from a lot of people is how can I get iMessage on Android? And you can't, and that's a really big thing. Google, one thing they're doing completely wrong and they're idiots for, and I love Google, but they're idiots for this. Hangout should be the default messenger app across all Android. That should the default one. You cannot have another messaging app. This is the default. Why? Because then it would create the same culture. People use iMessage because it's there by default. They wouldn't use it otherwise. Same thing with Hangouts. People don't use Hangout because it's not the default, because you don't make it the default. If it was the default, then everyone would have Hangouts. Everyone that's on Android already has to have a Gmail account to download apps. They would use it, and then they would be like, oh, why don't you get on Android? I don't want to text message you. I want to hang out with you and have that synergy that Apple has. So those are a few things that they're doing right and a few things that they're doing wrong. Do you know where I can find the Gear S2 watch strap for the 4G version on T-Mobile, not the classic version? So a lot of companies are making these straps. However, I do not know if they're available in stores yet. So I am trying to see. Um, yeah, see the. So here's the thing. The Best Buy was already supposed to carry them, but they do not have them in stock right now. Um, and you are talking about the regular Gear S2, not the classic. So that's just to give you an idea of what she's asking for. She's not asking for a regular band. She's asking for that one particularly. Um, I'm just doing a quick search to a couple websites that I normally go to. Hmm. Nothing I see so far. I do not see any of them on the websites that I frequent. Um, and Samsung doesn't have it on their website. Let me check just to make sure they didn't just post it and I didn't know about it. But Samsung did not have it on their website as of yesterday. Wearable tech. No, and it still doesn't look like they have it now. So no, they have no bands. You know what? What about the companies that are making it? Incipio. I will finish up this and then. All right, just I try to be as thorough as I can for you guys. No, so I can tell you even the two brand like I know Incipio is making watch bands. They do not have it on theirs yet. And Best Buy is supposed to carry them. They do not have it on theirs yet. AT&T and T-Mobile, from what I know, will not carry them. But yeah, so far, no, I do not know of any place that will have these straps. And husband hates the water product. Yeah, no, I understand. Some people don't not like the band that's included with it, and I completely understand that. Are they made of metal or other material rather than Samsung material? I know you found the metal band for the Gear S. I did find the metal band for the Gear S, but you have to keep in mind that when I found that metal band, it was already like 6 months later. So I did finally find a metal band for the Gear S, but it was 6 months later, so it was a while later. Just important to note that. I mean, one more chance to see if I can find. Yeah, yeah, everyone has it on the Gear S2, but not necessarily the Gear S Sport. Okay. So yeah, Samsung has it in other countries, but not necessarily in the US yet. So in other countries, I already see that they do have a Gear S2 strap, the Medellin strap. So just to give you an idea, Samsung does, I guess, have these kind of straps, but yet not yet available. This is the Samsung internal one, so those are not the third-party ones, like ones from Incipio, that they will make it. So yeah, they are available in other countries, but not yet in the U.S. From everything I've been able to find. All right. Um, did I enter my information for Samsung? No, no. I did not hear back from my mom's promotion that I just submitted from Samsung Promotions. I just did it today. They said that my request has been submitted. I can tell you I did the wireless charging one when I signed up for Samsung Pay last month, and I did already get my wireless chargers, but I didn't hear anything from them till about a month. So it did take almost a month for me to hear back from the Samsung promotions thing. Favorite Android OS: Cupcake through Marshmallow. KitKat. KitKat was awesome. I do have to give a close second to ice cream sandwich because it made so much. It made everything better. I mean, if you talk about the first time Android really stepped up, it was ice cream sandwich. However, KitKat was the best overall OS ever. It was great. It ran perfectly. There was nothing wrong with it. Jelly Bean was great, but I would in order say Kit Kat, ice cream sandwich, um, and I'm not including marshmallow because it hasn't made that big of an impact yet. So when it does, we'll see it. By far, actually no, the worst two OSs from Android have been the have easily been Honeycomb and the one we are currently having to face, Lollipop. Those were the two worst pieces of garbage Google has ever done. Honeycomb was pretty bad, pretty bad. I probably will still give that one because that one was the most garbage update ever. However, Lollipop was just a huge step backwards from KitKat. So many issues, so many problems, so many battery draining issues. Just horrible, horrible update. I wish it never had existed. I can't wait for Marshmallow. But Marshmallow is more of a correction. That's why I still can't say that it made that big of an impact. Kit Kat would probably be number one. Ice Cream Sandwich would be number two, and number three would be Jelly Bean. I do wish the Classic was made in 4G. Yeah, I think Samsung was stupid not to make the Classic a 4G model. I think they were stupid for that. I think it was very silly. I think they need better marketing people to research what people want, at least in the US. I get it that there's different cultures in different countries, but they do. Samsung does not understand the US market. They don't. They should, but they don't. All right, guys. Hopefully you did like this video. If you did, please give a like, thumbs up down below if you haven't yet. It really helps me out and allows me to keep making these videos. Thank you as always for watching this week. This has been RICKY, the Android Guy.